You are listening to Theoretical Insights of D&D.
Lord, give me a fireball!
Screw how hot your skin is, my bars are hotter. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you, you listeners, if you don't know what the zombie has packing in his decaying flesh. You shut up, cancer bones. You gonna be a zombie if that cancer doesn't get cured.
Hey guys, I'm Rob.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to another episode of Theoretical Insights of D&D. And today we are covering our top 15. You heard that right. 15. Why so many? Because we like to torture ourselves. We're gluttons for punishment. Our top 15 monsters for CR12. And once again, returning, as in every other episode, you guessed it, a new and improved celebrity list.
Well, this list ain't really mostly it ain't all celebrities.
We got the bottom, like the ones that are hated, perfectly this go around, and then we got the top pretty well.
Yeah, I would say it's well done, but I wouldn't call it a celebrity list.
No, it's anything that is well known as a celebrity. It doesn't go to just the person.
I guess you could, yeah, whatever.
So at number 1, the most hated for this week's list, the Third Reich.
Yes.
For if you do not know why they are one of the most hated entities in world history,
Please read a book.
go grab a history book.
Please.
And I'll give you a hint. Their leader's initials are AH, and it's not Ah.
And just don't fail out of art school. We'll
Yeah.
be okay.
At number 2, Helen of Troy, because she caused the entirety of the Trojan War
Yes.
between Troy and Sparta. And wow.
Well, it was most all of Greece, basically.
Oh, well, yeah, but at least we got the Trojan horse out of that. And the great story of Achilles, apparently, you know. Who dies? Who dies from an arrow to the hill? I'm sorry, but that story made no sense.
I mean,
It was not a vital organ. If anything, he would have been wheeled off of the battlefield and fine in a couple of weeks.
yeah.
I mean, think about it. Think about it real hard. You stub your toe and you drop over dead. What?
He might have had a limp forever, but he'd have been all right.
Well, I mean, seriously, think about it. If his mom in the Greek in mythology, if his mother had held him by his foot and dipped everything but his toes, if he stubbed his toe really hard on the battlefield on a rock and broke it, would he drop dead?
If he tried to kick somebody in the head, he would have died.
That's my entire point. That story is so dumb. At number 3, the Bay of Pigs.
Another history lesson.
Another history lesson that is synonymous in the 1960s. At number 4, Detroit, Michigan. Not overly hated by everybody, but for the most part, if you think of some place that's kind of rough, you think of Detroit. Well, South Side anyway.
Yeah.
At number 5, we have Marcia Gay Harden. Now, if you don't recognize that name, she has been in a ton of movies. She was, what was her character's name? She was in The Mist, and I believe she was the one that was kind of going crazy in the grocery store before they decided to move out. I want to say she was also in one of the Conjuring movies.
She was in Flubber.
Oh, yeah, she played Robin Williams' love interest in Flubber.
His ex-wife, wasn't she?
I don't know.
Or his soon-to-be wife.
Oh, and she played in 50 Shades of Grey, she played Grey's mother.
Yeah.
I Have a Wife. I've seen that movie multiple times, unfortunately.
I have yet to see it, even though I bought it for my ex-wife.
Well.
And it's still on my Amazon.
If you want me to be honest, it's not really worth watching.
I never figured it would be.
Number 6, Toby Jones. For those of you that don't know who Toby Jones is, all you have to do is load up Captain America and Captain America Winter Soldier, and you will see him playing the devious scientist helping Red Skull.
Apparently, he was in Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets.
Who did he play in Chamber of Secrets? Because we just got done watching the entire series.
He voiced Dobby.
He is the okay.
Okay.
We're gonna give him an honorary 9 for being the voice of Dobby. Harry Potter has given Dobby a sock. Dobby is a free elf.
Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff, but he's mostly like second and third string characters in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes that's where the best actors fall.
Yeah,
Is they know that they are best, like the people that are doing the casting know that they are best at support. So that's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Daniel Stern. Now, for those of you that don't recognize that name, I have 2 movies that will put him in mind and the name of his character. Home Alone and Home Alone Lost in New York. Marv.
What a hole!
What a hole.
He was also in City Slickers. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but I used to love it.
Yeah, and he was also Bushwhacked. That's the movie that I kept seeing him on the cover of, was Bushwhacked.
Christmas Story 2. 1983's Blue Thunder.
Nice.
It's been a while since I've seen that one.
At number 8, we have Mark Dodson, who passed away earlier. He was one of the voices in the movie Gremlins. So for anybody who may have been a fan of his or didn't know that he was a voice actor in the movie Gremlins, now we can go back and rewatch that movie with a little bit of appreciation for the fact that there is yet another creator gone too soon.
He was also apparently in Star Wars Return of the Jedi, but I'm trying to figure out where he was at.
Number 9, Spartacus. Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
He's a great historical figure. And number 10, announced earlier this week, I believe March 12th. The creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, passed away.
He was the mainstay of millions of kids' childhood.
Yeah, and I never really got big into Dragon Ball Z, but I remember when I was young that if I was flipping through the channels and Dragon Ball Z was on, I always stopped and watched.
Yeah, I really got into watching Dragon Ball in 6th grade. That was 98. I'm old, I know.
Dang.
You are. Shut up.
Dang, I'm trying to think. 6th grade, that was like 06 for me, buddy.
And in 7th grade, I actually I started drawing Dragon Ball in school and got in trouble because I wasn't doing my work, which was not uncommon for me. But
See, I didn't really get into the original Dragon Ball, but whenever it turned into Dragon Ball Z, that's when it started grabbing my attention, because that's when I started watching it. Like I would spend the night with my grandparents, and they had satellite TV where we did not.
Oh yeah.
So I'd sit there and watch Dragon Ball Z. They played like 2 or 4. I can't remember how many it was in a row on Toonami.
Oh, I used to love Toonami.
And I remember watching the entire World Championship. You know that World Championship arena, the stone slab in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
I watched the entirety of it over the course of like a few weekends, because I think they only played it on the weekends on around like 7 or 8 o'clock.
Oh, he also did the Blue Dragon anime too.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I used to watch that too.
But yes, Akira Toriyama, sir, thank you for giving us something that fathers and sons, and depending on the age, even grandfathers may be able to enjoy together.
Yeah, I've watched Dragon Ball Z with my kids.
Yeah, and it's an absolutely fantastic watch, and it's family friendly, which is hard to come by these days. So, thank you for giving us something that's that enjoyable, even though I think it's ridiculous that 5 episodes for a single fight. But sometimes, it takes a while to power up.
Yeah. Oh, and when we beat my children at Dragon Ball on PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes.
It's great. I love to kick the crap out of Eric's kids on video games.
Yes. I do too.
Makes me feel like a man. But thank you, Akira Toriyama, for the years of enjoyment that you have brought us thus far, and for the years of enjoyment that you will be bringing us going forward.
Oh, yeah.
But with no further ado, we have a monster list to cover. And we're going to start off with the Aeorian Nullifier. Now, you know me, I like a good monstrosity,
Yeah,
and
you
that's
love your
exactly what we're going to go
monstrosity.
over now.
This is a monster.
An absolute monster. It's a large one, to be exact. Armor class of 17, natural, with an HP of 180, or you can take the max of 19d10 plus 76 for 266 max health.
Oh, I forgot to get my calculator so I can fact check you on this.
It's 9 plus 7.
I know. But I still gotta be me.
Go ahead, fact check.
Let's see.
Fact check me.
You're wrong. It's 266.
No, the calculator's wrong. The plus 6, it's a movement speed of 40 feet. Plus 6 to wisdom saves and plus 8 to charisma, plus 6 to perception and plus 6 to survival. It is immune to necrotic and radiant, with a dark vision of 120 feet and a passive perception of 16. It understands draconic, but can't speak. It's kind of interesting seeing as how it's got like 12 mouths.
Well, unless there's voice boxes hooked up to every one of those mouths.
What if his voice box is in his butthole? Maybe that's why he don't talk. He's got bad breath.
Possibly.
He got made fun of in middle school and he just never talked again.
Oh, that was an elementary school, middle school, and high school. Not just middle school.
But he got revenge on them during high school where he just went.
Yeah, senior
and they
prank.
all died.
Senior prank was critical for this guy.
He just sent it through the intercom and everybody died. Horrid gnashing. The nullifier's mouths gnash incoherently while it can see any enemies. Each creature that starts its turn within 20 feet of the nullifier and can hear it must make a DC 16 wisdom saving throw. Unless the save succeeds, the creature rolls a d8 to determine what it does during its current turn. 1 to 4, the creature is stunned until the creature is stunned until the end of the turn.
This is stupid.
5 to 6, the creature is frightened until the end of the turn and uses its movement to get as far away from possible from the nullifier. 7 or 8, the creature doesn't move and it uses one action to make an attack against a random creature other than itself if one is within reach. Otherwise, it does nothing.
This is stupid.
Innate spellcasting. The nullifier's innate spellcasting ability is Charisma, save DC of 16. It can innately cast the following spells requiring no material components. At will, counterspell.
Yeah.
Detect magic, dispel magic, and see invisibility. And 1 time per day, anti-magic field.
Jeez.
Now, for those of you that may not know exactly what anti-magic field is, anti-magic field is a 10-foot radius invisible sphere of anti-magic surrounding it. Spells and other magical effects, except those created by an artifact or a deity, are suppressed in the sphere and cannot protrude into it. Which means if he does this, because it is a concentration of up to an hour, lightning bolt, fireball, none of that will touch him.
Yeah.
Somebody has to go in and smack him and get him to drop the concentration.
Even magic items lose their magical properties.
And the good news, magic resistance. He has advantage on all saves against spells and other magical effects.
Mm-hmm. So this is anti-mage.
Well,
Or
it's
anti-any
it's
magic.
about the anti-anything. The nullifier makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bites and 2 with its claws. The bites are a plus 8 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d12 plus 4 piercing damage, plus 2d10 force damage.
Mm.
And the claws plus 8 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d6 plus 4 slashing damage, and 2d10 force damage, and the target is grappled with an escape DC of 16 if it's a creature. The nullifier has 2 claws, each of which can grapple 1 creature.
This is
So
stupid.
it bites, claws, hits, grapples, walks 40 feet to the wizard, claws, hits, and it's just sitting there double dogging the daggum wizard and fighter.
Well, I mean, look at the hands on this thing.
I haven't looked at the hands on that thing. Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
I bet his mama always called him to get the groceries.
Right?
And as a reaction, counter spell.
Who would have thunk?
This dude is awesome. For a monstrosity, this guy is awesome. I'm going to put him at a number 9. That's a Spartacus level, dude.
I'm going to give this guy an honorary 9 with Toby Jones.
Yeah.
This is an evil genius.
Yes, honorary 9 Toby Jones.
This guy is an evil genius, or an evil genius created him.
Absolutely. Next up, we have the Arcanoloth. It's a medium fiend, and it actually looks like a fox. But there's a reason I put him on here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a...
Oh, you about to find out today, Eric.
I haven't looked at this guy, no.
AC of 17 and 104 health, or you can take the max of 16 D8 plus 32, and that would be a max of 136?
No, 160.
Yeah, you know what? I had 2 teeth pulled earlier this week. It doesn't exactly feel good to talk this much.
Did that affect your brain any?
Yeah.
Your mathing?
Yeah,
Apparently.
I'm worried to death about the possibility of dry socket, much less, math. But no, I don't care if I was wrong.
Your brain is a dry socket sometimes.
Either way, this thing's got a movement speed of 30 feet and a flying speed of 30 feet. Plus 5 to dexterity saving throws, plus 9 to intelligence, plus 7 to wisdom and charisma, plus 13 to arcana, 11 to deception and insight, and 7 to perception. Resistant to cold, fire, lightning, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Immune to acid and poison. Immune to charmed and poisoned. True sight of 120 feet. Passive perception of 17. Knows all languages and has a telepathy of 120 feet.
So hold on just 1 second. This fox
Yes.
can fly?
Yes.
This is not a fox.
It is quite the sly fox.
Is this a slad?
No.
Shape-changing?
It is a medium fiend of Yugoloth.
Oh, I see that. Oh, great.
Innate spell casting. Spell save is DC of 15. And it can cast at will, alter self, darkness, heat metal, invisibility on itself, and magic missile. It also has magic resistance.
Of course.
And magic weapons. All of his weapon attacks are magical.
Of course.
Here's where it gets spooky. The Arcanoloth is a 16th level spellcaster. Its ability is intelligence with a spell save DC of 17 and a plus 9 to hit with spell attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And he has these following wizard spells prepared. Cantrips. Firebolt, Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, and Prestidigitation. First level with 4 slots. Detect Magic, Identify, Shield, Tensor's Floating Disc. You know, that shield will put it at a 22 AC.
Yeah.
Second level with 3 slots. Detect Thoughts, Mirror Image, Phantasmal Force, and Suggestion. One of the most deadly spells in the game in Suggestion.
Yeah.
Third level with 3 slots. Counterspell, Fear, and Fireball. Fourth level with 3 slots. Banishment and Dimension Door. Fifth level with 2 slots. Contact Other Plane and Hold Monster. Sixth level, Chain Lightning. Seventh level, Finger of Death. And 8th level, Mind Blank.
So when did we start doing character sheets on this monster list? Because this is all this is. This is a character sheet.
Pretty much. It's got all of the good spells you would want with a 16th level wizard.
This is, what are they? Are they just called Foxkind?
I don't know. I will say, though, the Finger of Death, that's 7d8 plus 30 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. So you'd be taking the equivalent of half of 7d8 plus 15.
This is just somebody's Kitsune character.
Ooh. That
Somebody's
just made it cool.
Kitsune, sorcerer or wizard?
Oh, and Mind Blank. You know what Mind Blank does?
Not necessarily.
Until the spell ends, and it lasts 24 hours, one willing creature you touch is immune to psychic damage, any effect that would sense its emotions or read its thoughts, divination spells, and the charmed condition. The spell even foils wish spells and spells or effects of similar power used to affect the target's mind or to gain information about the target. Now, let's go back to the suggestion. Guess what? Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. He uses suggestion and charms them, and then mind blanks and wipes them out in one turn with a finger of death.
So Mind Blank is basically Skyrim Crouch for the Mind.
Yes, pretty much. But guess what? Wish spells,
Yeah, they don't
it is
work.
still active on that creature. The wish spell to resurrect won't work.
You sure we don't need to add this guy to our fight we're doing?
Maybe.
Because this is
Claw.
just somebody's character sheet they've
Pretty
uploaded.
much. The claws, +7 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d4 plus 3 slashing damage, and the target must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 poison damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Not very often that you see an innate spellcaster with that level of spells still be deadly up close.
Mm-hmm.
I like this guy. Teleport. The Arcanoloth magically teleports along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. So it's got an extended Misty Step, but it's an action.
Yeah, and you're going to get up close to him and then he's just going to teleport away.
And here's the variant. Yugoloth summoning. Some Yugoloths have an action option that allows them to summon other Yugoloths. Once per day, the Yugoloth attempts a magical summoning. The Arcanoloth has a 40% chance of summoning one Arcanoloth. A summoned Yugoloth appears in an unoccupied space within 60 feet. Okay. Now, it only lasts for a minute or until it or the summoner dies. But can you imagine? You're halfway through a battle with this thing. You've barely hit it. It's just, kind of locking you down with spells and stuff. Next thing you know, it summons another one.
Yep. Sounds about right.
This guy is a 10. This guy is an absolute 10.
Yeah, I could go with that.
I mean, just look at the art for it. It's awesome.
It's just a kitsune.
Next up, we have the Archon of Falling Stars. It's a celestial, and I believe it's the first one we've had on the list. Armor class.
As far as I know, yeah.
Armor class of 18, 144 health. Or you can take the max of 17d8 plus 68, and that'll be whatever it is.
All right, let me get them quick maths.
Yeah, do the quick maths while I do the speed of 30 feet.
That is 204 health.
204 max health. It's got a +9 to strength and wisdom saving throws, and a +8 to constitution and charisma saving throws. +6 to arcana and history, and a +9 to insight and perception. It is immune to radiant, charmed, exhaustion, and frightened. True sight of 120 feet with a passive perception of 19. And it knows all languages. Here's where it gets cool. Innate spellcasting. The Archon spellcasting ability is Wisdom. Spell save DC of 17 and a +9 to its spell attacks. At will, it knows Command, Guiding Bolt, and Spare the Dying. And one time each day, Crusader's Mantle and Spirit Guardians. It has magic resistance. And under its description, it has Mount. If the Archon isn't mounted, it can use a bonus action to magically teleport onto the creature serving as its mount, provided the Archon and its mount are on the same plane of existence. When it teleports, the Archon appears astride the mount, along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying. While mounted and not incapacitated, the Archon can't be surprised, and both it and its mount have advantage on dexterity saving throws. If the Archon is reduced to 0 hit points while riding its mount, the mount is reduced to 0 hit points as well. Radiant Rebirth. Recharges after a long rest. If the Archon is reduced to 0 hit points, it regains 30 hit points and springs back to its feet with a burst of radiance. Each creature of the Archon's choice within 30 feet of it must make a DC 16 in Constitution saving throw or take 3d8 radiant damage and is blinded until the start of the Archon's turn. That is cool.
It is cool. And I was trying to find if there was some special name for the mount it's on, but it's just a winged bull. There's no special name for it.
No, I'm figuring you could go in and give this guy, because he's a medium celestial, anything you want. Put him on the back of a nightmare, put him back on the back of a griffin, on the back of a rock.
Yeah, but that winged bull, that does look awesome.
Oh, I'm sure that there's something around here to where, and it's probably lower in the CR list that we overlooked.
Well, let me look on that.
Yeah, if you want to look on that and see if there's anything that you can find on it. In the meantime, it has multi-attack. He makes 2 attacks with its Radiant Spear. +9 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d6 plus 5 piercing damage, and 3d6 radiant damage. And it has legendary actions. As a legendary action, he has Attack. The Archon makes a Radiant Spear attack or casts Guiding Bolt. Coordinated Assault. Costs 2 actions. The Archon makes a Radiant Spear attack, and then its mount can use its reaction to make a melee weapon attack. Return to Nyx. Cost 3 actions.
Jeez.
The Archon uses a corpse it can see within 30 feet of it to burst into a shower of radiant stars, leaving no trace of it behind. Everything it's wearing or carrying remains. Each creature within 10 feet of the corpse when it bursts must succeed on a DC 16 dexterity saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage.
Nice. So I found the winged bull. Challenge rating 4.
Oh yeah, we
It's
definitely
got
overlooked
charge and it's got a gore. But it's got also the flavor text at the bottom. Archons always ride into battle on fearsome winged mounts. Some legends suggest that the mount is always a physical manifestation of the Archon's will, allowing the pair to act in a single mind. The 2 most common Archon mounts are winged bulls and winged lions.
Oh,
So yeah.
that's cool. But yeah, can you imagine? You're not the DM in this, you're the player. Your character goes down because of the Archons. You thought it was over, and he does his Radiant Rebirth. You fail, you take 3d8 radiant damage, and it's just enough to get you unconscious. Everybody else close to you failed too. The cleric's too far away. He's out of spell slots. There's no healing.
Yep.
The paladin's 65 feet out. He can't get there with lay on hands. So the ranger takes his next turn and misses his second attack, dealing a total of like 24 damage. 6 health is all it took.
Yep.
6 more health and he would have been dead. And at the end of the ranger's turn, he uses the legendary action, Return to Nyx. And you are dead.
Yeah.
Because the corpse is gone. No resurrection. Nothing. There's nothing left of it. True resurrection can do nothing from Return to Nyx.
You know what? I could actually see you putting one of these in your campaign.
Yeah.
It
But
gives
the
off
only thing
that...
is, I will say it would be an ally.
Yes, please.
It would be an ally because I want to play as this guy with you guys.
Because the way the picture looks, it gives off that anything mythology look to it.
This I'm going to back you up. Look, this dude's a 10 too. That dude's awesome.
I would give him a 10, yes.
Next up, we have the Arc-like Phoenix. Medium Elemental, 16 AC, 142 hit points, or you can take the max of 19d8 plus 57 for however much that is, with a speed of 0.
That is 209 health.
Nice. But it's got a flying speed of 120.
Yeah, she's fast.
Plus 10 to dexterity saving throws, and it is resistant to thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. And it is immune to lightning and poison damage. Immune to exhaustion, grapple, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, restrained, and unconscious. Dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 11. Crackling death. When the Arclight Phoenix dies, it explodes. Each creature within 30 feet of it must make a DC 18 dexterity saving throw or take 8d8 lightning damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. You get hit with a lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm. When it dies.
The explosion destroys the Phoenix but leaves behind a tiny warm egg with a mysium shell. The egg contains the embryo of a new Arc-like Phoenix. It hatches when it is in the area of a spell that deals lightning damage, or if a creature touches the egg and expends a spell slot whose combined levels equal 13 or more.
Good Lord.
When it hatches, the egg releases a new Arc-like Phoenix that appears in the egg's space.
Michael.
I know what you're going to ask.
Yes.
It's possible.
Sweet.
It's got flyby. And by now, you would know it can fly by
And I'll
without
get
opportunity
attack,
attacks.
Yeah.
Grounded lightning. The first time on a turn that the Arclight Phoenix touches the ground, it takes 2d10 force damage. Illumination. In the words of the minions. The Arclight Phoenix sheds bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning form. The Arclight Phoenix can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. A creature that touches the Phoenix or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 2d8 lightning damage. In addition, the Arclight Phoenix can enter a hostile creature's space and stop there. The first time it enters a creature's space on a turn, the creature takes 2d8 lightning damage.
Yeah, I really want one of these. Because when I get my armor from Marcel, I'm going to be shooting lightning out of my hand.
Arclight Touch. Plus 10 to hit. 5 foot reach.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
6d8 lightning damage.
Yeah.
And the lightning jumps from the target to one creature of the Phoenix's choice that it can see within 30 feet of the target.
Yeah, it's a free chain lightning,
The
basically.
second creature must succeed on a DC 18 dexterity saving throw or take another 6d8 lightning damage.
Yeah, it's a basic attack is chain lightning.
This dude is cool.
This is really cool.
Which, by the way, were you going with the Infiltrator armor or the Stealth armor?
The Infiltrator is a stealth armor.
Which one was the other one?
I can't remember the name of it.
You know, like Thunder Fist.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that
Yeah,
armor.
that one.
But I'm going with the Infiltrator this time.
Yeah. Don't be surprised because you know how hard the game is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if you run into one of these and can get one.
Oh, I would fight this thing just to grab its egg.
It's a 10. It's an absolute 10.
Yeah.
This thing's awesome. Next up, the Bone Claw.
Yeah, this is the one you put on here.
Large Undead. AC of 16 with 150 health, or you can take the max of 20d10 plus 40 for a max health of 240.
Wrong, that's 240.
With a movement speed of 40 feet. Plus 7 to dexterity saves, and plus 6 to con and wisdom. Plus 6 to perception, and plus 7 to stealth. Resistant to cold and necrotic. Immune to charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 16. Ever since I got these teeth pulled, man, it's a little hard to get my words out.
You'll adjust.
Yeah. Well, I'll adjust real well once it heals and closes completely.
Yeah.
Languages, common, plus 1 language spoken by its master. Rejuvenation. While its master lives, a destroyed Bone Claw regains a new body in 1d10 hours. Hours? With all its hit points. The new body appears within 1 mile of the Bone Claw. Oh no. What if, an evil DM.
You know what? You needed one of these in Jeremiah's campaign.
Oh, wait, no, I could only have up to a CR1. Wait, so an evil DM, right? He has his party fight one of these guys.
Oh, that's 240
Well,
health.
the next thing you know, he rolls 1d10. How far can you travel on foot in an hour with a group carrying stuff?
About, I would say 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles, something like that.
Or if you're really in a swamp or close.
Oh yeah, if you're in somewhere like this, because this is what
Or in the
Arctic
Underdark.
desert and urban. Yeah, I'd say about half a mile maybe.
And then he just reappears 20 feet behind you.
It's giving me some like Freddy Krueger vibes.
And he's just standing there
You
going,
can't outrun
he's
him
just standing there going,
with those massive hands. Good God.
in unusual nature. It does not require air, food, drink, or sleep.
Well, of course.
Multi-attack. The Bone Claw makes 2 piercing claw attacks. Now, the piercing claw is a +8 to hit, 15-foot reach, 3d10 plus 4 piercing damage, plus 2d10 necrotic damage. If the target is a creature, the Bone Claw can pull the target up to 10 feet toward itself, and the target is grappled with an escape DC of 14. The Bone Claw has 2 claws. While a claw grapples a target, the claw can attack only that target. Shadow Jump. Recharge of 5 to 6. If the Bone Claw is in dim light or darkness, each creature of the Bone Claw's choice within 15 feet of it must make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw or take 5d12 plus 2 necrotic damage. The Bone Claw then teleports up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. It can bring one creature it's grappling, teleporting that creature to an unoccupied space it can see within 5 feet of the destination. The destination spaces of this teleportation must be in dim light or darkness.
This is Freddy Krueger.
Wait, so you put it in a little bit of a spot to where it's got a pool of poison acid or whatever. Or in like an area where it's like, this is necrotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you enter this on the start of each of your turns, it's 2d8 necrotic damage. But you put it in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So your Bone Claw hits the druid, grabs him. Next turn, he just
disappears.
What a bugs! He's gone.
Now, why would you do a druid instead of a bard or something?
Well, I'm just thinking druids usually don't have that good of a strength.
Are you personally against my druids?
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of Circle of Lands because they don't usually have that good of a strength. And realistically, with what they can wild shape into, by that point, 2 claw attacks, that wild shape's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
The only one that can stand up to that would be Circle of Spores or Circle of the Moon.
I could see this thing, like you was talking about an area of like necrotic energy. This is like a ruined city with a giant cathedral in the middle of it, and the big bad is in the cathedral with one of these.
Well, here's the problem. Think about this. The Bone Claw, if he's in dim light or darkness, each creature of his choice within 15 feet of it. Say there's 3 people. One of them's grappled. They still have to make that con save.
Yeah. Yep.
If they fail, they take 5d12 plus 2 necrotic damage, and then they're teleported into the negative energy field, taking 2d8 more necrotic damage.
Yep.
After taking at least 3d10 plus 4 and 2d10 necrotic damage.
This, having 1, maybe 2 of these, would be a
impossible fight.
Well, third to last session on a campaign.
Yeah, if you run into 2 of these, realistically, one of them you can take with a group of like 6, easily 8th or 9th level characters.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm thinking 4 or 5 people, level 16, 17. This is third to last session on a campaign. You fight these 2, and then the last 2 sessions are you fighting and facing the big bad evil guy.
Yeah, these are his bodyguards.
Yeah, these are definitely his bodyguards.
Oh, good news. Bonus action. Shadow Stealth. While in dim light or darkness, the Bone Claw takes the hide action.
Of course, why not?
Reactions. Deadly Reach. In response to a creature entering a space within 15 feet of it, the Bone Claw makes 1 piercing claw attack against that creature. And if it hits, they are grappled.
Why not?
Just for walking too close.
Yeah.
That's the counter to the Barbarian and maybe the Fighter.
Paladin.
Because of the high AC. It's only a +8 to hit. I would say mainly the barbarian, because by this point, realistically, you'd be like 8th or 9th level for it to be a good fight.
Oh yeah.
Unless you just wanted it to be a pushover, in which case you could put this against like 12th level, or 6 12th level characters. But
The rogue
6,
might have a hard time with this thing.
maybe. Yeah, well, it would be able to, anybody would realistically be able to escape this pretty good. Unless they just not wanted it.
Yeah.
Because we've known people that roll horribly whenever they really need to roll good.
I know you're looking at me.
There's a couple more.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
a
going to name
couple.
them here, though. They know who they are. This guy, wow. I don't think he's a 10.
I will give him a 9.
I'll give him the 9 of Spartacus.
Yes, because I've already used my honorary 9 spot. I'm only going to use that once. This is a 9, yeah.
The Kupralak Rilmani. Another Celestial. 16 AC, 202 health, or you can take the max of 2078 plus 81. Please do that math.
Quick maths. Not so quick, but yeah.
297.
Good Lord.
40-foot movement speed. Plus 9 to dex saves, plus 6 to charisma saves, plus 6 to perception, and plus 13 to stealth. Resistant to psychic, true sight of 120 feet, and a passive perception of 16. Telepathy of 120 feet, and speaks any 4 languages. Multi-attack. The Kupralik, however you say it, makes 3 burnished blade or bolt attacks. Burnished blade, plus 9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 1d6 plus 5 piercing damage, plus 2d12 psychic damage. The bolt, plus 9 to hit, 20 to 60 feet of range, 1d4 plus 5, 2d12 psychic damage. So he's pretty much, the bolt is a dagger. Spellcasting.
Yeah.
At will, detect magic, disguise self, and 1 time each per day, alter self, fog cloud, and silence. As a bonus action, he's got Assassin's Agility. The Kupralik takes the dash or disengage action, or if it makes 1 burnished blade attack. Oh, and it's also got Uncanny Dodge as a reaction. Oh my, this is a Celestial Rogue.
Yeah, this is a holy assassin, basically. Celestial assassin.
Dude, and it looks awesome.
It looks, if I hadn't have read,
Honestly, you know what it looks like?
It looks like a construct.
It looks like one of the dwarven constructs out of Skyrim.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It really does. And just for that, that's a number 10. Realistically, though, let's be honest. Realistically, it's about a number 7.
I could give it a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a 7 on this one. For the aesthetic of it looking like a dwarven construct from Skyrim, one of the greatest games ever made. 10.
I mean, they've only redone it and released it on 2,000 different
everything.
consoles.
I saw a meme. Time traveler went back in time. He said, "What year is it?" He saw a sign poster in the game shop. It said, "Coming soon, Skyrim." What year is it? Oh, number 7 is where the Kupralek Romani falls.
Yeah. I could give it a 7.
Next up is the Death Giant Reaper. And she's cute.
She is cute.
Armor class of 18, 172 health, or you can take the max of 15d12 plus 75. I'll try to do the math real quick. That'd be 36, and then about 250 something.
255.
I was close. Constitution plus 9, plus 8 to intelligence saves, plus 7 to wisdom and charisma. Has plus 8 to arcana and history, plus 7 to perception, and plus 6 to stealth. Immune to necrotic and frightened. Dark vision of 120 feet with a passive perception of 17. The giant makes 2 scythe or soul bolt attacks. The scythe is a plus 12 to hit, 15-foot reach, 3d8 plus 8 slashing damage, plus 2d10 necrotic damage. Soul Bolt, plus 8 to hit, range of 120 feet. Okay. Soul Bolt is literally Guiding Bolt. 4d10 plus 4 necrotic damage, and if the target has the Frightened condition, the giant gains temporary hit points equal to the damage dealt.
Oh.
Wow. Frightening Teleport. Recharge of 4 to 6. The giant magically teleports along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying up to 40 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. Each creature within 10 feet of the location that the giant left must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or have the frightened condition until the end of that creature's next turn. And that's a bonus action. So you know what you do?
You teleport.
You
and
teleport
then
and Soul Bolt. And if they're feared of you, you have advantage.
Yep.
She's an 8. It's simple, direct to the point, and there are so many different ways to use her.
Okay, so she get
Or
since,
him, I guess.
Since they're frightened of you,
go either way.
Since they're frightened of her, she gets advantage. Plus, she gets temp health for Soul Bolt. If they're frightened.
And you know what the average of 4d10 is? Well, the average of a d10 is 6. That'd be 28. That's temp health of 28.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Next up is one that y'all fought this past week, or actually the week before.
Yeah.
The Aaron Yes. And nobody was expecting the Aaron Yes to do what she did. Armor class of 18, 153 hit points, or you can take the max of 18d8 plus 72 for 208, I believe.
216.
216. You want to know why I was so close? Because I gave her the max health.
You son of a...
Well, you think, realistically, the party that we've got right now is dealing some damage.
That is true.
So I'm not bumping the damage that the creatures are doing, but I'm pumping their health a little bit.
Yeah, we can do some damage.
7 to dex saves, plus 8 to con and charisma, and plus 6 to wisdom. Resistant to cold, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks that aren't silvered. Immune to poison and fire. Immune to the poison condition. True sight of 120 feet. Passive perception of 12, and it knows infernal with a telepathy of 120 feet. Hellish weapons. The Aaron Yes's weapon attacks are magical and deal an extra 3d8 poison damage on a hit. And it has magic resistance.
Yes.
Here's what I didn't always do. The Aaron Yes makes 3 attacks.
I'm glad you didn't.
The longsword is either 1d8 or 1d10 plus 4 with a plus 8 to hit and a 5-foot reach, plus 3d8 poison damage. And the longbow is a longbow with 3d8 poison damage. Oh, and by the way, if you fail a DC of 14 Constitution saving throw, you'll be poisoned. And the poison lasts until it's removed by the Lesser Restoration spell.
Yeah,
and it has parry. The Aaron Yes adds 4 to its AC against one melee attack it would hit. To do so, the Aaron Yes must see the attacker and be wielding a melee weapon.
I always like parry.
Oh, it's pretty good. There's a lot of martial stuff that's got it.
Yeah.
The variant, Rope of Entanglement. Some Aaron Yeses carry a Rope of Entanglement, detailed in the Dungeon Master's Guide. When such an Aaron Yes uses its multi-attack, the Aaron Yes can use the rope in place of 2 of the attacks. And it can also use Summon Devil, in which this one did. A 50% chance of summoning 3d6 Spine Devils, 1d6 Bearded Devils, and 1 Aaron Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10. It just is.
I give her 1. Nah, I'd give her a 9.
How about you go over the Fire Main Angel for us real quick, Eric?
The Fire Main Angel, another Celestial. Cool looking Celestial. That 18 armor class with plate armor. Average health is 135. It's 18d8 plus 54 and 198 health. Speed of 40 feet, fly of 120 feet. Saving throws is strength of plus 10, wisdom plus 6, charisma plus 10, insight plus 6, perception plus 6. Resistant to fire, radiant, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical attacks. Immune to charmed, exhaustion, and frightened. It has true sight of 120 feet and passive perception of 16. Knows all languages again. It has flyby, which doesn't provoke opportunity to attack when it flies out of reach. Innate spell casting, charisma save, or ability is charisma. DC at 18 and plus 10 to hit spell attacks. It knows 3 a day, Compel Duel, and Guiding Bolt. 1 a day is Daylight and Fireball. Some really good spells. That compare duel is one I've used on a paladin in another.
Oh, Compelled Duel is actually a really good spell.
Yeah, I've used.
But here's the thing. Those are 5th level and 6th level spells.
Yeah.
They're cast at that level. That's deadly.
Yeah. Daylight's always pretty good too. Has magic resistance, of course. It also has Relentless. It recharges after a short or long rest. If the angel takes 21 damage or less, that would reduce its hit points to 0. It is reduced to 1 instead. It's a samurai, basically. Doesn't a samurai have Relentless?
Yes.
That's it. It's a.
No, it's not so much reduced. It's a different kind of relentless to where the samurai just gets to make another.
Oh yeah, it just makes
they
another
take
attack.
another action.
Yeah. Multi-attack. The angel makes 2 melee attacks with its longsword. Plus 10 to hit. Reach 5 feet. Takes 1d8 plus 6 slashing, or 1d8 plus 6 if it's two-handed, and 5d8 fire or radiant damage, the angel's choice.
Good Lord.
She can do some damage.
Oh, this thing can do a lot.
And that 18 AC is going to save her a lot too.
Oh, yeah. Realistically, I think she's about an 8. She's not overly good, but she's not bad. That's for sure.
Yeah, I could say that. I could go with that.
Next up is the Frost Giant Everlasting One. AC of 15, 189 hit points, 14d12 plus 98 for the max health, with a speed of 40 feet. Saving throws, plus 11 to strength and constitution, and plus 4 to wisdom. Plus 11 to athletics, and plus 4 to perception, immune to cold damage. Dark vision of 60 feet, passive perception of 14. And it speaks giant. Extra heads. The giant has a 25% chance of having more than one head. If it has more than one, it has advantage on perception checks and on saving throws against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, or knocked unconscious. And it's got regeneration. The giant regains 10 hit points at the start of each of its turns. If the giant takes acid or fire damage, this trait doesn't function at the start of its next turn. The giant dies only if it starts its turn with 0 hit points and doesn't regenerate.
So this is a giant hydra.
Troll. A giant hydra troll, pretty much. Because there's a lot of stuff that's got regeneration. Multi-attack. The giant makes 2 great axe or rock attacks. 2 rock, wow. Plus 11 to hit on the great axe, 10-foot reach, 3d12 plus 7 slashing damage, or 3d12 plus 11 slashing damage while raging. You heard that right. Rock, plus 11 to hit, 60 to 240 feet, 4d10 plus 7 bludgeoning damage. Now you say, raging? Bonus actions. Vaprix Rage, recharge after a short or long rest. The giant enters a rage. The rage lasts for 1 minute or until the giant's incapacitated. While raging, the giant has the following benefits. The giant has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When it makes a melee weapon attack, it gains plus 4 to the damage, and the giant has resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
So this is a giant Hydra troll barbarian.
Yes. It's a 7.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a 7.
Yeah, I could do that. It's kind of cool, but it's not overly cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got the gray render. Looks like a scary hippopotamus with a crazy mouth.
It's a hippo bear
Yeah, hippo bear. There we go.
with 6 eyes.
Armor class of 19.
Oof.
This thing's got. It's a hippo. It's got thick skin. Hit points is 18, D10 plus 90, which would be what? Since I'm doing the.
270.
Yes, it is. Speed of 30 feet. Saving throws is plus 8 strength, plus 9 con, plus 2 to perception. It's kind of dumb. It does have only a 3 in intelligence. Okay. Dark vision of 60 feet, passive perception of 12. No languages. It's got multi-attack. The gray render makes 1 bite and 2 claws. Plus 8 to hit. Reach of 5 feet does 2d12 plus 4 piercing. If the target is medium or smaller, the target must succeed a 16 saving throw or get knocked prone. Strength saving throw. 2 claw attacks at plus 8, reach of 10 feet. 2d8 plus 4 slashing. And 3d6 bludgeoning for each. Hold on. 3d6 bludgeoning damage if the target is prone. Okay.
Good lord.
So it bites. Oh, man.
oof.
It mauls it, basically. Knocks it down and just tears into it.
So it's a wolf on some serious level steroids.
I was thinking a bear.
Well, I don't think the bear has a knocked prone thing on its bite, but the wolf
Well,
does.
yeah, that is true. It also has a reaction called Bloody Rampage. When the gray render takes damage, it makes 1 claw attack against a random creature within its reach other than its master.
Oof.
So it has counterattack.
Oof.
Yeah. It's cool, but it's not.
Yeah, I'd put this around the
Super
6,
cool.
honestly.
Yeah, I could go with a 6. Let's see. We got. Yeah. Ki-Rin. Lots of people know what a Ki-Rin is. It's a lightning unicorn, mystical. It's been in multiple games, Final Fantasy, Monster Hunter.
It's another celestial.
Yes. It's basically what they call God. This one has a 20 armor class.
We're getting on up there.
I think that's about the highest armor class we've covered.
Yeah, the only thing I think we've seen like a 21 somewhere.
Maybe. I don't remember. Its health is 18 D10 plus 54.
234.
Yep. It's got 60 foot of movement and 120 feet of flying or hovering. Plus 9 to insight, plus 9 to perception, plus 8 to religion. Immune to poison, immune to being poisoned. Dark vision of 120 feet, true sight of 30 feet, passive perception of 19. You're not going to get by this thing.
No, it's not going to be easy to sneak by this one.
And it knows all languages and telepathy of 120 feet. Of course, this has legendary resistance 3 times a day. Magic resistance, of course. Multi-attack. The Ki-Rin makes 2 hoof attacks and 1 horn attack, or it makes 2 sacred fire attacks. The hoof is plus 9, reach of 15. Deals 2d4 plus 5 force damage. The horn is plus 9, reach of 5. Does 2d8 plus 5 radiant damage. Sacred Fire is a ranged spell attack at plus 9 for 120 feet, and it does 3d8 plus 5 radiant damage. That's pretty good. Spell casting. Spell save of 17. It uses its wisdom and spell casting ability. At will, it has light and mirror image.
Major
And-
image.
Major image. Yeah. Oh, crap. Yes.
That's the 6th level version, too.
Ooh. That's nice.
So, what's the difference of 6th level for this? So, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 6th level or higher, the spell lasts until dispelled without requiring your concentration.
So it's
There forever unless it gets
an
dispelled.
illusion clone, is it all it is?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Let's see. Physical interaction with the image reveals that it's just an illusion. Okay, so it's like a holographic image that you can't tell unless you actually try to touch it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's got a 6th level spell, Thaumaturgy. At 6th level. What is different about it at 6th level? Nothing that I can tell.
Well, I think that 6th level version was for major image.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. It's got the parentheses. Okay. And it's got Thaumaturgy, which
It's a
makes
useful
sense.
spell.
Yeah. 3 a day with Cure Wounds, Dispel Magic, Lesser Restoration, and Sending. 1 a day with Banishment, Calm Emotions, Create Food and Water, Greater Restoration, Plane Shift, Protection from Good and Evil, Revivify, and Windwalk.
It's a cleric unicorn.
Yeah.
Well, a cleric paladin unicorn.
Legendary actions. It takes 3 actions. Choosing from the options below, only 1 legendary action can be used at a time. Move. The Ki-Rin moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
It's a peace domain.
And Smite.
And there's the war domain.
Yeah. It just makes an extra attack, is all that is.
Now, this thing does have layer actions and regional effects.
Yeah.
To save on time, well, we're not going to go over those. However, if you would like to go in and read those, they're actually pretty cool.
You know what? That would be something we could post on our new Discord.
That is true. We will do that.
And we'll give the information for the Discord at the end.
That'll work. I think realistically this guy is a 9. But I haven't used my honorary yet. So I will do
That
the
is true.
honorary.
You haven't used your honorary yet.
I will use my honorary 9 for Toby Jones.
I will also
For
give this a
Ki-Rin.
9 because it has been in some of my favorite games like Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, and it's a great fight in both.
Yes.
Next up, we have the Ordeal Tree. 17 AC, 186 health, or you can take the max of 12d20 plus 60 for 300. Waiting on you to check me.
Yeah, I'm coming. You are correct. 300.
Hey, look at there. Even numbers are easy.
He finally got one.
Vulnerable to fire damage. Resistant to bludgeoning and piercing.
Mm-hmm.
Passive perception of 13 and speaks Sylvan. Guess what? It's got a movement speed of 20 feet. You're like, well, okay. Well, what's so special about that? The Ordeal Tree is a gargantuan plant.
Yeah, it's
the
massive.
size of an ancient dragon.
It's massive. Think of when you watch like any old cartoon, this giant tree in the middle of the swamp. This is pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Think the God, what's the Whomping
Whomping
Willow.
Willow?
The
I would
Whomping
say
Willow.
this is bigger than the Whomping Willow.
Oh, it's bigger than the Whomping Willow, but this one moves.
Yeah.
Corrupt Desire. A humanoid may bind themselves to the Ordeal Tree. Each day, the petitioner is bound to the tree. They must succeed on a con save with a DC equal to 15, plus the number of days bound or suffer a level of exhaustion. If they survive for 7 days, the Ordeal Tree may choose to grant a blessing. But wow, wait a minute. You'd have to succeed a DC 15 and then a DC 22.
Mm-hmm.
If they survive for 7 days, the ordeal tree may choose to grant a blessing. The tree only does this if the humanoid is evil, once per humanoid. If the humanoid is neutral or good, the tree attacks them. The blessing is tailored to the petitioner's desired, the GM discretion, but might include a +1 to an ability score, a feat, expertise, and a skill, or the ability to innately cast a 3rd level or lower spell once per day using charisma as the spellcasting ability. The petitioner also contracts the Curse of Foul Blight as the Grim Hollow campaign guide. If the petitioner commits a profoundly evil act every day, the curse never advances beyond stage 1. If the petitioner fails to commit the act, the curse automatically escalates.
I wonder if this is what we saw like day one when we saw that tree in Jeremiah's campaign.
Maybe, but I'm going to look up Curse of Foul Blight real quick.
Because, like, it was like session 1 or 2, we came across a tree on the side of the road that required some kind of sacrifice.
Okay. The spell curses a creature on the same plane of existence as you with putrefying and stinking pox. Oh. Okay. Stage 1. The cursed creature is afflicted with a minor cough. Whenever they speak more than a few words at a time, they break into a fit of coughing. Stage 2. The smell of putrescence lingers in the air around the cursed creature. Food and drink quickly spoil, jewelry tarnishes, and wood rots within 10 feet of the cursed creature. Additionally, the cursed creature has disadvantage on charisma saving throws. Stage 3. The cursed creature's skin becomes riddled with pock marks, pustules, and lesions. Insects flock to the cursed creature, infesting their wounds. The cursed creature's charisma score becomes 6 unless it was already lower. Culmination. Upon failing the final escalation check, the cursed creature twists into a deformed figure and becomes a Belazal. If the creature is a player character, they become an NPC under the GM's control. So,
Ooh.
what is a Belazal?
How do you
Eric?
spell it?
B-U-L-E-Z-A-U.
There it is. Let's see. A Belazal is a medium fiend. Challenge rating of 3. Huh.
That's crazy. We haven't even gotten into its actions yet.
Oh, that's what it is. It's the goat people thing.
Oh, goat person.
Okay.
False appearance. While the ordeal tree remains motionless, it is indistinguishable from a normal tree. Heart sight. The ordeal tree knows the alignment and desires of any creature that binds itself to the tree. Multi-attack. The ordeal tree makes 2 slam attacks and 1 attack with a vine or innervate. The slam, plus 11 to hit, 10-foot reach, 4d10 plus 7 bludgeoning damage. Vine, plus 11 to hit, 20-foot reach, 3d8 plus 7 slashing damage, and the creature is grappled with an escape DC of 17. Innervate, 2 times per day. A creature bound to the ordeal tree or grappled by it must succeed on a DC 17 Constitution saving throw or suffer 8d10 necrotic damage. The ordeal tree gains temporary health equal to half the damage done.
Ooh.
It's a 10.
I don't know if I could give it a 10, but I could give it a 9.
Well, just think this thing is moving 20 feet. It's
That
not
is
like most of
true.
the other trees that are only moving either 0 or 10.
That is true. That is very anime.
Well, it's not only that, but this could be the backstory for a character.
That is true.
you're playing an evil campaign, or you're playing an evil character, this could be your backstory. And you have to hope and pray that you can hide the fact that this is your backstory from the rest of your group, because they're the good guys, while you commit these heinously evil acts every day to keep from turning into this goat person.
Well, it only the corrupt desire only lasts 7 days. It could be part of the backstory, but it would probably have to happen during the campaign.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was a high-level campaign started at like level 12, I would say backstory. If it starts at level 3, do it.
Yeah, this is something that's going to happen to you at some point during the campaign.
Yeah.
I still want to give it a 9, but I could see
I'm fine
a
with
10.
that.
I could see a 10 happening.
And last, we have the Yuan-Ti Anathema. 16 AC, 189 health, or you can take the max of 18d12 plus 72 for a max health of...
I'm working on 288.
Woo, that's a big number. 40-foot movement speed, 40-foot climb, and 40-foot swim. Plus 11 to perception, plus 5 to stealth, resistant to acid, fire, and lightning, immune to poison and being poisoned. Blind sight of 30 feet, dark vision of 60, and a passive perception of 21.
You definitely ain't getting by this unless you're a rogue.
Speaks Abyssal, Common, and Draconic. Magic resistance.
Of course.
Why not? Oh, that's a big number. Ophidiophobia aura. Got it on the first try.
Afraid of snakes, basically.
Yeah. Anybody that starts his turn within 30 feet of the anathema must make a DC 17 wisdom saving throw or become frightened of snakes and Yuan-Ti.
But any creature other than a snake or a Yuan-Ti.
Yeah.
Druid could shapeshift into a snake and
Yeah, that would work.
be immune to that.
6 heads. The anathema has advantage on being against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, or knocked unconscious. Multi-attack, anathema form only. The anathema makes 2 claw attacks and 1 flurry of bites. The claws plus 10 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage. Flurry of bites, anathema form only. Plus 10 to hit, 10-foot reach, 6d6 plus 6 piercing damage, plus 4d6 poison damage.
Ouch.
Constrict, snake form only. 10 to hit, 15-foot reach, 1 large or smaller creature. 3d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage, plus 2d6 acid damage, and the target's grappled with an escape DC of 16. Until the grapple ends, the target is restrained, and it takes 3d6 plus 6 bludgeoning damage, plus 2d6 acid damage at the start of each of its turns, and it can only constrict 1 creature at a time. Oh, it has spellcasting with a spell save DC of 17. At will, animal friendship on snakes only. So there goes your druid snake.
Yeah, that is true.
And 3 times day each, darkness, entangle, fear, polymorph, and suggestion. And as a bonus action, it can change shape in between the huge constrictor snake or back to its true form. It's an 8. It's not overly cool, but it is definitely an 8. That bite is doing
a
lot of damage. And the constrict is doing a lot of damage too. That's the start of each turn if you can't get out of that grapple.
That flurry of bites is 10d6 total.
Plus 6.
Yeah.
Well, you think constrict, you're taking 6d6 plus 12. Sorry, no. You're taking 10d6 plus 12 from the constrict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an 8.
But you've got to be in snake form for that.
Well, yeah, you're doing more damage in snake form with constrict than you are with your bite.
Well, hold on. 2 claw attacks and 1 flurry of bites. So 10d6.
I mean, you know what I mean, though.
Well, you're doing 14d6 plus 12 with the claw and the 2 claws and flurry of bites.
Yeah. Now, granted, let's say you only hit with 1 of them.
Yeah, that is true.
Then the constrict wins.
The constrict has a higher possibility of damage.
Yeah, it's got going back into that power game or the power gap episode where
Yeah.
we're talking about the difference between one-shotting a fighter with a wizard at level 1 and the wizard
Yeah.
being one-shot by the fighter. Where if you discount when you talk about it, it's like all the fighter's weapons except for the dagger would be able to one-shot a wizard if they rolled max damage or more.
Yeah, one's higher possible damage, but one's higher probable
But realistically,
damage.
the only spells that are available to the wizard that would guarantee the fighter going down if you rolled the damage would be firebolt, magic missile, and poison spray,
Yeah.
and like prism, chromatic orb.
Yeah.
But either way, that's been our CR12 list, and there's some ridiculously cool creatures on this.
There are some cool creatures.
We hope you enjoyed. And Eric, would you like to give the information for our new Discord server?
Well, you're probably going to have to link it in the YouTube, like the description on YouTube.
Of course I am. I know exactly how to do that.
The name of it is Big T, little I, Big D, the and symbol, and Big D. TID&D on Discord. And I mean, we just started it, yesterday?
Yeah, last night.
So it's brand new. We're still working out because neither one of us is
Neither one of us are really we know how to work a computer to
We're
a
not-
point to where we can get places, but
we're not sweaty
overly
Discord
tech
mods,
Yeah, we're not overly tech savvy.
which I need to be because that's kind of what I'm going to school for.
Well, you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'll get there.
But yeah, this is a way for those of you that would really like to have good, solid contact and discourse with us about content and anything that's coming up, especially with this Daggerheart stuff coming out,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do like a roundtable discussion on it and then bring all of that stuff into our review episode, of course, giving credit where credit is due.
Yeah,
This is a
there's
really good thing.
There's a request channel on here. You can request certain things, maybe monsters or some added to the celebrity list.
And you never know, you might catch me and Eric in the voice channel at some point where you can pop in and say hi.
I'm sure we'll be in there.
Of course, we're boring to hang out with, so you'll probably leave within 30 seconds. But
Well,
it is what it is.
It's according to what game we're playing.
Fair. But either way, thank you so much for listening. And as always, keep rolling high. We'll see you in the next one.